Hello and welcome to Lauren's Travels. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 international park travel list. I am really looking forward to being able to travel again after this coronavirus mess is done. I don't know if I'll be able to knock any of these off my list anytime soon, but that's what makes it fun. It's a fun little bucket list for me of theme parks that I want to visit the most. And I'm going to count them down from 5 to 1 being the one I want to visit the most. I'm grateful to the following channels for letting me use their videos today: SoCal Attractions 360, F&S Disney Adventures, Attractions Magazine, and Dark Rides and Walkthroughs. So let's get started with this list. Coming in at number 5 is the Warner Brothers theme park in Abu Dhabi. This opened in 2018, so it's the newest theme park on my list today. It's actually all indoors, which is really cool and makes it super unique. Abu Dhabi reaches really high temperatures, worse than we have here in Florida, so going to an indoor theme park would be pretty nice, actually. What also makes it unique is that it's on Yas Island, which I think is kind of cool. Yas Island is man-made. It also has Ferrari World there, which is a Ferrari theme park, and there is a water park there as well. But of course, I really want to visit the Warner Brothers theme park. There are 6 different lands inside. There is the Bedrock area, Dynamite Gulch, Cartoon Junction, Gotham City, and Metropolis. I love the IPs in this park, intellectual properties like DC, Hanna-Barbera, and Looney Tunes. The rides that I would most want to visit here are the Flintstones Bedrock Adventure. I grew up loving the Flintstones, and this boat ride looks really cute, and I like how you're basically going through all of Bedrock. It's really adorable. Then there's the Gotham City Joker Funhouse, and I'm just going to show you a bit of that video right now. It looks amazing, perfect for any Batman fan. I know my husband and I would love walking through that.
TikTok, your time is running out.
So that was number 5, the Warner Brothers theme park in Abu Dhabi. Going on to number 4, Disneyland Paris. Disneyland Paris actually used to be called Euro Disney. So if you find any vintage merchandise or anything from the park, it's going to say Euro Disney on it. This theme park opened in 1992. I really like the style of this park a lot. It is very similar to Disneyland and Magic Kingdom. They have their different lands like Main Street, Frontierland, Adventureland, Fantasyland, but which one is the most unique is Discoveryland. Discoveryland is themed after famous European visionaries like H.G. Wells and Jules Verne. So the castle is obviously the most unique and very fantasy-like. I love the square trees, just like they have in Disneyland for their Sleeping Beauty castle, except this one seems more fairy tale-like to me, of course. I love the glass stained windows that they have inside of the castle. The 3 fairies are some of my favorite Disney characters ever. And of course, you can't forget about the dragon. They have a full dragon underneath the castle that you can go and visit. The illuminations fireworks look amazing. I think that they do really cool projections on their castle, and of course they do focus on more of the French storylines like Sleeping Beauty, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Aristocats, so it's kind of cool to see those stories and films featured more and those characters featured more. That's another thing I'd be really cool to see are the different characters that come to the park, all the merchandise that I would want to buy, especially the pins. They have really nice pins over there. You get to drink wine on Main Street, which is not something you could do at a lot of other Disney parks. I like the Alice maze that they have there. Yeah, there's just so much to see. And also their Space Mountain is something I would really want to go on. It's the fastest out of all of the Space Mountains, and it has some of the best theming I've seen. So yeah, that's number 4, Disneyland Paris. The third park on my international theme parks wish list is going to be Universal Studios Japan. This park opened up in 2001, so it's the same year actually as another park on this list. And it is Universal's first international theme park. It does have some similar lands like the ones that we have here in Orlando and in California. Some of the lands that they have at Universal Japan are Hollywood, New York, San Francisco, Jurassic Park, Waterworld, Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Minion Park, and Amity Village. That's right, Jaws. This is the only park left that you can actually ride Jaws, which is cool. I grew up going to Universal here in Orlando, and I would ride Jaws and get a little freaked out, but it was a classic ride and I miss it, honestly. So Jaws is one of the first things I would do if I went to Universal Japan. I also really like the look of their Wizarding World. They have the lake out in front of Hogwarts, which is significant in the movies and books. Hagrid takes the students across the lake to start their schooling at Hogwarts. It's like a classic, for me anyways, a staple of the story, and I would love to see Hogwarts Castle there with the lake out in front. They also have things that we don't have in our parks, like Sailor Moon has her own movie over there. I really like the Sailor Moon cartoons, anime. I think it's adorable. Sailor Mars is my favorite. And I think it would be fun to get merchandise out there, food and otherwise, all related to Sailor Moon or even Harry Potter, see what's different out there that I can't get over here. Also, Super Nintendo World is coming. It's supposed to come this summer, but I'm not 100% sure if that's still when it's gonna open up. But it's gonna be the first Universal park to have Super Nintendo World. So obviously, we're not gonna get that here for a while. It would be really cool to just go out there and see what their Super Nintendo World is gonna be like. So that was number 3 on my list, Universal Studios Japan. Going on to number 2 on my list is Efteling Park in the Netherlands. Efteling is probably the most unique park on this list. It's definitely the oldest. It's one of the oldest theme parks in the world. It opened up before Disneyland. It opened up in 1952 and it was a nature park before it became a theme park. Efteling is 2 times as large as Disneyland size. And they don't just have a theme park there. There's a hotel, a golf course, and a theater. What I'd be really interested in is the fairy tale garden that they have there. There's actually over 30 different fairy tales included in this walkthrough. Some of them might seem familiar, while others might be a little strange. A lot of them are based off of the Grimm fairy tales. So I think it would be fun to walk through this garden, and if you're interested, you can also read up on all of the fairy tales featured in the garden before your visit. And I'm gonna link that down in my description box in case you're interested. I'm probably gonna mess up the pronunciation of this. It's called Droomvlucht. It's a indoor flying ride, which kind of tells the stories of trolls and elves and fairies. It looks really cute. I think it would be really fun to ride. Honestly, I love just indoor dark rides, so this one looks really cool. There's also a ride called Symbolica, which is the top of my list. I think I would do that ride first on my visit, and it is an indoor trackless ride, and I believe that the characters inside this ride are like the main characters for the park. There's even a haunted house here at Efteling. It's called Spookslot. So any place that has a haunted house and indoor rides, there are some roller coasters of course, but those indoor dark rides are what gets me going. So Efteling Park is definitely really high up on my list as number 2, but I even considered making it number 1 just because it's so unique. And we made it to number 1. Do you have an idea of what it could be? It's probably everyone's number 1 that's a theme park fan that hasn't been there yet. Tokyo DisneySea. This park is my other park I mentioned earlier that opened up in 2001. It's owned by the Oriental Land Company, so Disney doesn't actually own this park. They do have 100% of the creative control, but having a different company own the park means totally different merchandise, totally different food options. I think that would be the most interesting thing of all. Not only to have the totally different experience of these parks in a different country where English is not the primary language, but also just to be able to see and eat and do everything differently would be it would be such a different experience and a lot of fun. So they have 7 ports there at Tokyo DisneySea, and they're adding an 8th, which is going to be called Scandinavia, themed after Frozen. Some of the ports that I would like to visit at Tokyo DisneySea are the Mermaid Lagoon area, which is 100% for children, but it's just beautiful. When you see it, you'll understand. It's just the colors, everything. It's very fantasy-like, very Little Mermaid, which is a movie I grew up on, so I want to see what it's like in there. There's also the Arabian Coast, which is all themed after Aladdin, another movie I grew up on that I think would be really cool to experience a whole land for at Disney Park. The whole theme of the park is nautical exploration, so there is a Journey to the Center of the Earth ride, which apparently is one of the best rides ever. The animatronic at the end of the ride is huge. So this ride would be really fun to experience, and it's inside of a volcano that erupts at night, which is really cool. Another ride I'd want to experience is the Sinbad Storybook Voyage. Again, a dark ride indoors, but it just looks so cute, and yeah, I want to go on this ride for, I can't even explain the reasons, just because it's cute. A lot of things that I hear about Tokyo DisneySea and Tokyo Disneyland are how nice and generous the cast members are. They're so excited for you to be there, and they're just all super friendly and nice, and I haven't heard any issues about the experience in the parks as far as guest experience goes. So it'd be really nice to have some fun cast member interactions and even interact with some of the fans that go to the parks. They get all into their cosplay, like when it's around Halloween time, and there's some fans that come to the parks and they bring their huge stuffed animal collections. It's a big thing. Also, want to mention the popcorn. The popcorn situation in Japan is amazing. They have several different flavors throughout the park, including strawberry, curry, matcha white chocolate, and garlic shrimp. Yeah. Trying different foods is one of my favorite things, and I'm actually gonna have a fun video for you next month where I actually get to try different foods, but more on that later. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment down below with your theme parks that you want to visit internationally the most, or if you're a YouTube creator, I'd love to see your video on your top 5, so make sure to let me know, tag me or anything. Thank you so much for watching today. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I am trying to reach 400 subscribers currently, and I'll see you next time on Lauren's Travels. Bye!